stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack, my bad. But I'm past that with an ass back. That's cash when the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's facts. If the money low, I'ma grab round man. When it come back, I'ma give back my bad. When the check hit, the direct hit. I'm glad when the check missed the direct hit. I'm sad like, who's that knocking at my window? They say that it's the money, I'm like tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you up like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's the 2nd and 7. And his throw here is incomplete. There you see the starters defensively for Jacksonville. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Lawrence. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Off the play fake. Lawrence. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 43.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
Looking to throw. Lawrence. Rodgers brings it in. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Back to throw. Lawrence. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Zach Ertz. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed, and this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked. So here are the Jags now set to get their first drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the Stanford man. It's Andrew Luck.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
On 2nd and 7, Luck. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. Out of the gun, Love. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up the score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 13 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown as well. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. From the gun on third down. Lawrence. And he will find his man on the outside. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Back to throw. Lawrence. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. This quarterback now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards. And now it's 2nd down.
Here we go. 18 Gators.
This thrown quickly out to Jones. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all?
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Jags grab it. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Let's go, Mexico. 49, check 49. Back. Hey, check.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Check. You better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it.
3rd and long, it's Love. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Now a pass, and it's complete to QT.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On first and 10, Lawrence. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And
is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. He's had it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between second and 4 and second and 8 and 9.
On second down, Pollard. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he'll get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Tony Pollard with touchdown number 7 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And it was his interception on the last drive that wound up leading to a game-tying touchdown.
And somehow you can make this a positive, though. You know why? Game tied now, so you're not protecting a lead, so you're not playing that way. You got to go get the lead again, so maybe it loosens him up a little bit and allows him to go ahead and be a little more free in his play.
A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
From the gun on third down, Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And now the throw taken in by Chark. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. They'll run on first down. Pollard. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
On first down, Pollard. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Pollard going to try the right side. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL.
Monday.
Luck on first down. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars have taken the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once. where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. He goes underneath to Ingram. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into first down and then some. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Come on, set. 60 Pittsburgh. Here we go, G. Get off the field.
On first down, Lawrence gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make it a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, Lawrence. And that will be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defense. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky. But that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. To throw is Love. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Mike, check, 59. Hey, seam 6. Check 59.
Here's Love. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Fielded at the 20. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And now out comes Minnesota. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Lawrence. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Operating from the gun, Lawrence. That one is caught by Hunt. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. So we have reached half. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper.
Now a hit and Locke lost the football. It's out. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come out here. Come get some. He don't want it. Check. Quo.
Now it's Locke. Quick hitter here. It's complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. A shotgun snap for Locke. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
70, Indy. Check 3.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Ready? 30 base. Mike, 49. Now let's run. Tighten up. Get it.
They'll run on first down. It's Hunt. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And the Jags, Charles, I think they're on the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
On third down, here's Hunt. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Give them the third down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. That was a safety Taylor Rapp right there on the coverage. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. From the gun, Lawrence. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. The 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Fresh off the pick six, it's Love. He'll buy some time right. On the crossing route, complete. That's Schwartz. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
On first down, Pollard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Check 55 to Mike. Check.
Now on 2nd and 13. Luck, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Luck, he's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And out now come the Vikings. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
as they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Looking to throw. Lawrence. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw again. Lawrence. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 43. Certainly worth noting he's now 1 catch away from 600. He's at 599 in his career. They'll run on first down. It's Hunt. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back now in Jacksonville. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
To throw on second down. Lawrence. Ertz has it left side. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. The Vikings on third down. They've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is third down and 12. Operating from the gun. Lawrence. Open nose, QT, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books. But now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Ingram. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. 2nd and 5. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Andrew Luck in the offense. Down by 7. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to play. A possible crippling loss to their playoff status in the balance, barring a late score. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw, Luck. Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Matt Ioannidis make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. Jerome Baker right there in coverage. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere. Yeah,
and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, I thought you were on the field, but okay, I see you. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. One crisis averted, but they still need to move hastily. Now it's Luck. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. He's back to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Luck now to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run again with Hunt. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. From the gun, Lawrence. And he completes it to Hunt. The Vikings send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay?
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against?
Defense.
In overtime, you have to be smarter than that.
A personal foul just can't happen. Have to have poise.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On the run, this is Hunt. Taron Johnson made the stop. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So third down coming up. And, Charles, I guess the question for me, where does 4-down territory begin possibly?
I guess for me it begins if you have 4th and 5 or less because you've got to understand your team and know what your play calls are. What do you have that you think you're confident that you can pick up that type of yardage? It might be 4th and 3 for some teams, but I think anything under 4th and 5, they'll think about going for it.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance, you got to punt it, right?
That's definitely the first instinct because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they were hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Pollard. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Now Luck with his first throw of OT. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Luck. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Run for Pollard. A gain there of 30 big ones. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better.
Off of play action. Luck. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. This being their 2nd opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive. See if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Lawrence gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Taylor now returning it. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now? It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let a team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll run with Pollard. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. The open man is Shark. It's complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back.
Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen! Watch the screen!
On first down, Pollard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 29-yard line.
And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. And right now it all rests on the right foot of Aldrick Rosas. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And the Jaguars have won the game. We were just treated to an absolute dandy in this one. A great finish in overtime with a long field goal. Everybody, including us, on the edge of their seats. Quite a game.
And it's rare that you get a game into overtime that it doesn't turn out to be a dandy, right? That's what we saw here. And just what you were talking about, a long field goal to win it. So definitely not a gimme. So there was tension all the way through until the ball went through the post.
But it did go through the post. Ice water was in his veins. So for Jacksonville, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they hit the 10-win mark now at 10-5. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaud. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.